Good afternoon, twice in one day. How's that? Although today, I must admit, this one you've got to work. It's not just me showing you around and you with your feet up. It's about you actually picking up a pen and having a go today. So where are we starting? On tile 184. What do I have with me? I've got a tile. I've inked it round. I've done it on purpose, so I don't want you to think every time you ink, it's got to be really neat and tidy. You see that? I've just literally thrown a bit of ink on it with an old sort of bit of cut and dry. So you've got all these marks, but it doesn't matter because what you put on top is going to just sort of change that a little bit. So don't panic about that and don't think, oh my goodness, what's she done? It's on purpose. So I've got my micron pen. Here we go, micron pen. I've got my pencil. Ooh, tortillon, of course. I've got a white pen lying around, and I've also got a couple of these pens. I know we haven't used these for a little while, and we do tend to use them for inking. It's got a brush one end. In a second, brush one end. Although my brush is well used, you can see. And I've got little fine liners. There you go, at the other. So I'm going to use the fine liners today. And this is for all you out there who doesn't want to add colour, or you're a little bit afraid of using colour. We're just going to add a few highlights, and nothing crazy. And speaking of nothing crazy, we're going to start with a pencil and we're going to use freehand and not a stencil inside. So let's see where we go. Are you ready for this then? Are you all set? You're comfy? You've took a deep breath? Okay. And with the pencil. And what I'm going to do to start with, now you're not going to see this when it's finished. It's just going to be there as a guide. So I'm going to start by drawing a curve here. See, nice and lightly. And then turn it round. Now my hand hasn't moved. Apart from this back and forth motion, it's the tile that's moved, you see? So I'm just creating a curve in exactly the same place, just turning the tile. Okay. Okay, that's absolutely spot on. Now you could come in if you really wanted to, and you could enhance certain areas if you think, oh, it's a little bit flatter there. Doesn't really matter. But there you go. So this is the sort of area you're going to be working in. But as I've said, it's only a guide, so don't panic about it, okay? All right. Here we go then. So stick with the pencil just for a minute, and I've got my tile. So this is going to be sort of my way up. So this is my 12 o'clock position. So I'm just going to put a bit of a line in here. Now, I'm not going to go to the middle. It's sort of about, I don't know, maybe a third, just a little bit less. Okay? There's a little bit of a guideline. And then if I turn it this way, and I'm going to put guidelines here, but this is going to be considerably smaller. Okay, that's about, I don't know, about a centimetre, something like that, if you really want to know, but it's not the end of the world if you don't do that. So in between here then, I'm going to add another line, but it's going to be a bit smaller than that one. You see, so it sort of goes down a bit, but it's bigger than that one. Okay, same this side. So sort of gauge where the middle-ish is. So you've got this kind of effect going on there. Actually, I think I'm going to put one there as well. See, a bit smaller still. One there, a bit smaller still. Okay. Rose, he made such a mess. He's got it everywhere. And he won't let us take his top off so we can wash it. So at the moment, he's a little bit wet because we've had to sponge him down. If anybody thinks, what is she talking about? Dobby has had one of the cream cakes that we brought in earlier. So you can imagine the mess, can't you? Okay. So I'm just putting a little curve. It doesn't even need to be a curve, maybe. See how we go. Maybe it's going to be a curve, I don't know yet. Or maybe make that a little bit bigger. So I've sort of got a bit of a shape to work to. That's the sort of main area of using that. Oh, Jackie, are we twins then? Are you using your same pencil? Oh, that'd be nice. Okay, don't blame the pencil then. Okay, in with a pen. Are you ready for this? Okay. I'm going to go a bit larger now so you can see what I'm doing. Now, the idea today is I'm going to use primarily one tangle, but we're going to use it in a couple of different ways. So here we go. Maybe I'm going to start in the middle here, and I'm going to create a sort of a lozenge or oval shape. There we go. Oh, done half term. Yeah, do you know, I used to live for half terms and end of terms. Not that I didn't like teaching, I did. But yeah, it was nice when you got there, wasn't it? I don't even know what day it is, let alone whether it's half term or not anymore. But that's all good, because this is a little bubble that we're working. All right, speaking of bubbles, we're not doing bubbles, we're doing oval type lozenge shapes. And you see they're all going to different ways, and they're slightly different sizes, they don't have to be the same. And what I'm going to do is sort of fill up this space that I've created. See, when I get to the top here, I'm just going to sort of, see it's got a little bit smaller. Okay, let's put one in. If you get a few gaps, it doesn't matter. You fill what you can in, but it's fine. There we are. Oh, it is nice. It's nice to have that half-term feeling. Do you know what I do miss, actually? I do miss the going back after a full term and having a new pencil case and pens. And I'm not saying that as a student. I'm saying that as a teacher. Oh, Rose, that's nice that your mum's home. I hope she's okay. I'm sure she's going to be looked after. But that's good news. It is good news. Okay. So try not to rush this, because I think the more you rush it, the more your shapes change. And you can tend to lose that lozenge shape if you're not careful. Okay, so I'm going up to the line. I'm not trying to completely go up to the line. You see there, I've got a bit of a gap. That's absolutely fine. Just, I'll come back to that and have a look at it in a bit. But for now, I just want to enjoy filling the space with these little shapes. Okay. They're like little tic-tacs, aren't they? All sort of sitting there in that little space. All right, let's have one here. Oh, I think my windows need cleaning. Oh, Chris, you've reminded me. But, we'll have to do ours quite a lot because we have two dogs who like to sit in the window. And I don't know what they do, really, but it's always... our other dog, Leah, who passed, you know, we did the To the Moon and Back stencil. She used to lick windows. I'm sure there's plenty of dogs and cats out there that do it, but it was a bit weird. Oh yeah, Christine, little pebbles. So I'm just going to put just a little one there. You see how it's started to create this little pattern? Oh, I'm just going to join that one there. And then in we go with another. Okay. I'm still in awe that we are on 184. That's just crazy. And I must admit, I am absolutely blown away by the amount of people that have sent in a tile for Susan. Thank you so much. If you saw the video this morning, you'll see that I've started to formulate a mosaic with all of them. I know there's a few more coming today, so I've not positioned them down fully yet. I wanted to give everybody the chance, but if it's not here today, then I'm going to have to get it done over the weekend, I think. So I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, see a little one there maybe, and I'm going to put another little one there. Let's have a look. Okay, there we are, that kind of shape. So what I'm going to do now, I'll go a bit larger again. There we are. I'm going to put a little sort of lozenge shape in the middle. And then let's split up the space once, and then twice, and then I reckon I can get 1, 2 in each one there. Now if you can only get one, that's fine. But I'm aiming for 2 if I can. And let's do another. So each time, and then if you can get 2 in, if not, doesn't matter, aim for 1 at least. It's lovely, isn't it? It's quite sweet, this one, and it's a really good one if you really need to get into the mindful set and just have a 5 minutes relax. This is a really good one to do down the side of a piece of note paper or whatever you've got in front of you, and because it's very repetitive, it'll fit in any space and it'll get you into that zone very quickly. So I thought this one was quite a good one to do. Ready for the weekend. Okay, so I'm hoping we're gonna nip out and do a little bit of shopping tomorrow, maybe. John has promised me a belated anniversary present, so we're hoping that we can go out and have a look tomorrow, which would be nice. It was only May, it's only a little bit late. Okay, so yeah, October again, and the leaves are definitely changing colour here now. It's getting cold in the morning. I did put a coat on this morning, but at least we haven't got the rain that we had the other day. That was quite horrendous, especially driving home. It really came down that day. Oh, Rose, I certainly have. I certainly have. As you know that I love my Pandora. I do wear enough of it, I know, but you know that they have a really nice diamond range. Well, that's where we're headed. He sort of knows, he's been prepared. Didn't he look happy this morning on that video? Making those diaries. So funny, isn't he? He's finished for the day today now. He's gone to fetch our shopping. So, and he's going back home to the boys. See what they've been up to. Alright, even these little ones, I can only get 1 in, but I'm still going in and just adding those little lines. If you can only get 1 in, again, just put the 1 in. Kirsty, it is based within the Sanntangle method, but it's got my little twist on it. So I like to bring a little bit of something different. So whether it be a bit of colour, whether it be an image to go within it. See this one here? I'm going to just leave that because it's quite small. And then just working my way around there. Little bits at a time. So just sort of make sure, if you can, that all your lines are joining. Oh, Rose, I know I'm a little bit. Do like my rings. I do swap and change them, but I do like their new range. They've got where you can add charms onto rings you wear and things like that. I like that kind of thing. It's great. I've got a little moon on today. There we go. Of course, they do their Disney range. I just adore Disney, as you well know. Of course, anything Harry Potter, obviously. We do like our little quirks, don't we? Here we are. You see how this is starting to build, and all the detail. You think they were first just little tic-tac shapes, and now becoming something a little bit more. Julie, you've not missed any singers, but be sure that I will put some in now I know you're there. There we are. And just filling these little shapes in. Take your time. You don't have to keep up with me. This video is not going anywhere afterwards. So. Oh, yeah, I do. I'm quite, sad that I'm not be going this year. That we booked a long time ago, and we were hoping against hope that things would get sorted, and we're actually 6 days out. So if we'd have booked our holiday for the 8th of November, we'd have been fine. Fortunately, it was the 2nd. So never mind. We've all had disappointments, haven't we? But that's okay. It'll sort itself out. Maybe we'll go next year. Alright. So just sort of, say, fill in that little one in there. Let's do this one. So it's amazing how you start and you think, oh, this is going to take ages and it's all going to be the same. It doesn't take that long at all, really. It's just filling it in. Oh, they're going to love it. I absolutely do. And we've been to Florida a few times, and I used to go to Disney in Paris with a busload of kids. When I used to work in school, we used to run a Disney trip. I think I did that 5 or 6 years running, actually. We always brought them back, regardless of how well behaved they were. No, they were good times, actually. Good times. But I do like the Florida one. I've never been to the other one in America. Is that in California? Yeah. Just working it round. Almost done, see? Look at this. Real speedy today. And of course I'm just going to get a couple there. I'm going to leave that one. Kirsty, good question. Do's and don'ts. The first ethos of Sanntangle is there's no mistakes, so there are certainly no do's and don'ts. Although they do prefer monochrome with a little bit of colour maybe, whereas we go for any colour you can possibly find, any kind of pen, however it works for you. So if you're stuck with a particular design or tangle that I'm doing, then you can actually recreate your own, or you can change it so it works for you. Oh, so I bet that was nice. See, I'm just going to fill a few of these spaces with bubbles. Now, I'm not going to do all of them, so I'm just going to add a little bit of ink there. I'm going to work around this sort of edge here and just sort of fill it with a few. But I'm not going to do the bottom edge. I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to worry about trying to sort of complete that edge there. I'm going to leave it a little bit rough, because it's going to work for what we're going to add to it. So, okay, so see, I'm going to just put a few in there, and then I'm not going to put any more down there. So just a few, and then round we go. Okay, let's see, just bringing those in. And we're filling a few, just filling the areas with a little bit of black ink. You see that I've not tried to go completely up to that line there. Let's have one in there. Just sort of breaks it up a little bit. We don't want it all the same. Okay. Working in. A few there. See, so I'm not completely filling it, I'm just adding a few here and there. Okay. Okay, so remember where we got these, we've still got these points. What I'm going to do is bring a bubble in there, and I'm just going to mark those points. See, we've got one there. I'm just going to do these ones at the bottom, so there was one look there, and one there. I'm not going to do those, you see? And then facing upwards, I'm just going to add a few bubbles, but you see how it gets smaller each time? And then if I turn it, so this is sort of pointing this way, I'm going to do the same thing again. So they get smaller each time. Okay, this one. Now, I can see some of you are struggling with the tile swap. I think what might be a nice idea, why not go back to some of the earlier tiles that you did and maybe swap out one of the tangles that you used there for the one that we did, or we are doing in the tile swap. Or why not go back to, even to boot 1, there was a hexagon that we did there with that design in. That could take inspiration from that. Look at that. Okay. I think what I'm going to do as well, I'm just going to, we've done these little bubbles here, so I'm going to do the same up here, look. And just sort of take it up there a little bit. I'm not going to do the whole thing, just going to get smaller and smaller. There we go. Alright. And then let's go with this one. Alright. So again, just getting smaller and smaller. Let's just see if we can work out. Yeah, it just needs a few more just to sort of balance it. There we go. Okay. Alright. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to come in and just remove those lines. So this is something else that we're doing a bit of a comparison with Sanntangle today, is don't normally rub out their lines, but we are. Okay, I was a bit there, look. Alright, so there we go. That's our starting point. So, okay, I'm going to just, yeah, that's fine. Put in a few there. Oh, there, maybe. So next, let's bring a bit of a wave up here. Right. And then let's go a bit bigger. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to follow that line all the way up there. Okay. And then I'm going to put a little lozenge kind of thing on it. There we go. Look at that. Let's do another. So I'm going to bring it up this way, a bit bigger this time. And up and around. You see now where this looks like a bit, looks like outside, doesn't it? A bit of a dark cloud there. It just gives it a bit of change. Okay. Let's have another one. I'm going to do a little bit smaller. There we go. And let's have one sort of coming in and going underneath one, you see? Underneath. Same again, just bring that line along, let's follow under again. And then of course, a little bit of a bubble in there. And next one here, up. There we are, do another there. And in there. Okay, I think another one. A little lozenge there as well. Maybe another one over here. Now, of course, you can put as many or as few of these in as you like. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to, again, put that little oval in and fill those little lines. Okay. Let's do this with all of them. So again, same tangle, just slightly different way of having them on little stems. But, we could extend it a little bit as well. We could add some petals on, which I think we'll do in a minute. There we go. Just again, just aiming for 2 in between if possible. If not, go with the 1. You know, just take the time to make sure that your lines join the edges, if you can. Sometimes a little bit tricky for me to see because of the angle I'm drawing at, so I'll do the best I can. There we go. So what if we added some little loops around the edge? I think I'm just going to do it on this bottom edge. There we go. Oh, sweet. Come start there, like little loops. It's sort of working in and around. And then along and again. So of course, if you wanted to, you could leave them as they are with just the little lozenge shape. Here you could add these little petals to it, or you can, you can create your own. It's entirely up to you. Let's do a little one here. See, I'm doing the petals are slightly smaller as I get to those little ones there. There we go. Okay, let's have a little look at that. Oh, it's quite nice, isn't it? It's different. All right, so I'm going to just, I'm going to bring in a tangle we did the other day. So if you weren't there, don't worry, I'll show you again. I'm going to start here first. I'm going to bring one up, just as before, a little line. But this time I'm going to create a little curl, and then come back. And then I did a little sort of V shape, and then a little curl, and then back and down. So then from here we created a little curl up and up to join, and then we did a second one from the same point, going a little bit further up there, and then we filled it with lines, and then the other side. Okay, they sort of are, aren't they? You can make of them what you will. They're all slightly different. Now here, look, I'm going to imagine that this is here. So you're going to get that kind of shape. And again, I'm going to bring that line down. And then we'll do this one first because you can see it. This one we're going to imagine because it's underneath. And then along, and then back round, and up. And again, starting from the middle there, I'm just going to fill it with lines. You see? Okay, I'm just going to take it out so you can see the whole thing there. There we go. So I'll bring another one in there. There's that little curl. Up. Oh, it was a big V. That's okay. I'm sort of thinking about the pet's going to go up there anyway, or up there. So let's just put those lines in. That ate all its Weetabix, didn't it? It had a good upbringing, that one. Let's go with a smaller one here. There you are. Okay. And up and along. Same again. And then let's just bring that one a bit further up. And then just as before, we're going to fill that with lines that way and that way. Okay, so around this base, let's just add a few of those little bubbles in. Just so it doesn't look so uniform, we can just sort of fill any gaps we need to. Just adding a few in. Okay. And then let's just bring up a little curve, and I'm going to put a bobble on the end. Just sort of fill that bobble in. Let's do on this side. And fill it in. This is what gives us that little bit of drama, because at the moment everything's a little bit all the same. And we need to come in and add a little bit of depth there. So let's bring these in, little bobbles. Okay, don't need to do it on every one. I think it needs one up here maybe. There we go. We can go behind there, see? Maybe one there, like bringing it in. Okay. So, of course, we promised we've got to have a couple of little zingers in. It's a little bobble, a little curl on the end, and then a smaller, 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 even smaller. I'm going to do another one. There we go, same with that little curl there, and just work it round till it's nothing left. I'm just going to put one, put one here this side. They can be as big or as small as you like, it really doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to just sort of work on the outer edge now. Let's start in the middle here. See where we've left this rough edge?
It's got me soaked having a bath. Covered in cream.
It's not good, is it?
No.
It's not good. Has he took his top off?
Yeah, I had to wash that as well.
Oh no, he's shivering in the towel as he downstairs. Okay. Do you know? I don't know. Well, I say we put up with him because we love him. That's all I can say. Okay, see what I'm doing here? I'm just finding a little gap, bringing out a line, adding a little droplet in there, and then the droplets again are going down one side and down the other. You don't have to fill them in. You can just sort of draw the shape if you want. And then, there you go. See, just add that in. Now I could take another one if I want from here. They just grow wherever. And it's entirely up to you how many you put in or how big you want them to be. Let's see, let's do another one here. Just looks like it's growing there. Alright, let's put another one in. You see, just sort of different sizes, and they just really work well to change the shape a little bit. There we go, just filling it in. And just putting those little lines, see, just curving it back. I'm not trying to repeat anything or make it look the same or symmetrical. I'm just going to go with where I think I want to put them. So let's have one here. So you don't have to have one out of every single gap. You could just do it in little places if you want to. There we go. Let's see. Let's have one up here. And you're not going to see much on that side, but you're going to get some there. Alright, I'm going to add a few on the other side. So see how this works out. And remember me saying at the beginning about the inking? It doesn't really matter now, does it? It's just sort of creating a little bit of a different background for us to work over. You don't really see it. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to have one there now. Whether I planned it or not. Okay, let's bring one out here. Ooh, did a double both sides at the same time then. There you go. Let's work this way. So, into there. Alright, I'm going to put another one up here, then I think I'll look at it. Oh, another one I think further up, and then I'll see if I think I need to add any more. I'm not trying to make it symmetrical, I say. I'm just going to try and look at the balance, see where we're at. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, nice. I think, yeah, I think I'm going to put another one there. I've got the space, so why not? Yeah. And, yeah, bring one sort of in and down there. Okay, I think it's going to be nice as well. There's nothing stopping me bringing out another one of those little lozenge shapes there. And there could be just one that's escaped. And let's add in those little petals around it. Let's drop in another one. So we sort of started off symmetrical-ish with that bubble, but now it's sort of breaking up a little bit and it's changing things. There we go. So let's bring another Oh, let's go a bit larger. Oh, I know. The change is quite dramatic, isn't it? Once you've started it. And let's bring another one there, look. You just keep adding. Sheila, I know. You could be going forever, can't you, if you're not careful. It gets a bit crazy and you think, I'll just add another and another, and before you know it, you've got hundreds of the things. Alright, so some little petals there. And yeah, I'll bring another one sort of out here. I don't want to bring them all out, it's completely array then, isn't it? See, those little lines, I'm just working my way around. There we go. Let's have a look at that. Okay. Not bad. I mean, there's still things you could do. You could still add and we could still take to there. But, do you know, I think the only thing it's missing is a few little bubbles. Just bring a few of those out. You see, just sort of random, different sizes. Don't overdo it. You only want a few. Okay. Just sort of around as you go. And again, I think now I'm going to fill in just a little bit more of that space there. I know we didn't want to completely fill it all, but I think a little bit more would work quite nicely. This is what it's about, isn't it? You try things and you make a decision and you think, I'm going to leave it as it is, and then it's... you just want to add to it a little bit. You can go back and change it. There's no right or wrong to it. You can do as many or as little as you like. Alright, you see, just little sort of bubbles. Okay. Alright, so let's bring the pencil in now. There's a couple of ways of doing this. We could go around and do every single one. But let's just see where it goes. I'm just going to add some. There we go. And just around those bubbles there, you see? I'm not pressing on, I'm just working it round. Okay. So don't worry about it if you've got caught up with it all in the middle, it's fine. And then work your way around. Okay, so just keep it gentle. There's no need to sort of particularly press on with this one. Just let it do its thing. Okay. See, it's starting to change the way it looks at the minute now already. Don't forget those sort of fall out the basket almost. There we are. Okay, and there. So, of course, I'm going to come in and do the same with these. I'm just going to add a little bit extra around, see, around the base of it there, and around the middle. Now, you're not going to get much in because they're quite small. So, don't panic if you can't get any in. Just do what you can. And again, a little bit down the stems. Just those top sections there, see? And of course, we did this the other day. We'll do a similar thing. We'll just add a bit of pencil just on the underneath there. Okay? I think I'm going to come back and just add that line to those as well. There we are. Okay, so for now, in with the tortillon and a quick sip of tea. Leslie brought one up for me. There we are. So just sort of soften those lines. You don't need to think about it being completely one separate shape at the moment. We're just softening the lines there. There you are. So this could be kind of nice. You could do a whole bunch of these that worked as a bunch of flowers. Particularly, you could perhaps put it into a plant pot instead, or you don't have to have them as flowers at all. They could just be shapes that you've created. Maybe a grid, if you put a grid together and then put one of these in each of the sections in the grid, that would be quite nice too. So there's all different ways and things that you can do. See, I'm just sort of pushing that. I've missed that leaf there. Look. I'm just pushing it down. Oh, do you know, I've missed that one as well. Look at me. There you go. Down that stem. And then here, just softening again. Alright. So in the monochrome, it looks really nice. It's got a lot going for it, but there's still things we can do. Let's just pull out a bit. What I am going to do is I'm just going to bring a bit of pencil across the whole thing, just along here. You know, just that bottom edge. And then sort of the same around this edge as well. Okay. So again, just soften the edge off. Just want it a little bit darker on those edges there. There we go. Yes, it doesn't matter that you've already shaded underneath. This is just sort of adding that next layer. Oh, surely, yeah. Yeah, Create and Craft, yeah. 12th of November. It's always a little bit hit and miss in a sense that it's nice to give you correct dates before I tell you and then have to change them. They've changed a couple of times, but I think we've settled on the 12th. So that'll be nice. Okay, see, I've just added a little bit to those bubbles as well. And I'm going to bring in my white chalky pencil. Just for now. I know it's... if you're sharpening these, just be careful with them because they are very soft. You know, with there being chalk in them, so take your time with them. Or Rose did say actually, and I've tried it, it works. Put them in the freezer for a little bit just before you sharpen them. And look, I'm not sharpened it to a point. There you go. I've just added that line around there, and then I think I'm just going to add a little bit to the top sort of V shape of those little leaves there. And again, because we've got the background sort of shaded a little bit, we can do that. And maybe just a highlight on those little flowers there. You see just a little mark on the tops. Let's go a bit bigger. Oh, Rose. I hadn't even got the 15th either, so oh my goodness me. I do try and keep you up to date, I really do. It gets a bit crazy. Okay, so let's have a look back at these pens. I've got a yellow, an orange and a red, and I'm not going to colour in with them as such, but what I am going to do is I'm just going to create a little bit of colour in there. So I'm just going to come in and fill in the middle pieces of those flowers. So the same sort of on, you know where I've shaded it's quite dark there. I'm just going to come in again and just add that touch of colour to those pieces. And there, this is, you know, I'm not blending, I'm not trying to do anything crazy at all. I'm going to fill that one in there as well. It's just about adding a touch of colour in there. Oh, I think I'm going to put some zingers that side in a minute as well. And again, I'm going to put some on this side as well, you know, where they're a bit darker. There you go. Now you could do it in full colour if you wanted to. But today I just wanted to show you that you can add a hint and it's not going to be scary in any way. And again, I'm just going to add a couple fills in those bubbles, you see? Just a little bit of red in there. And I'm going to use the orange. Oh, Bernadette email. If you sent it today, possibly not. I'll have a look after this. So I'll get to it. Okay, so see what I'm doing? I've just changed the colour. I've just gone to a lighter, so it's like orange rather than red. And just where that light is, I'm just coming in and adding in a little bit of that. A couple of bubbles you can fill in as well. And then maybe just sort of as I'm coming out here, just add a little bit of colour. Okay, so maybe you want to ink the background, or you know, maybe you just want to put one colour ink on. Maybe it's just something you're trying. You've never done it before and you think you're going to give it a go. You see, I did start with quite a dodgy inked type of tile, but now it's completely changed, hasn't it? Just going to bring that red back in. Oh, Bernadette, no. I'll do a search in a bit. And, I do apologise if I've missed that. Okay. So I'm just going to put them in. I mean, there's nothing stopping you coming in with a bit of a gold gel pen or something here. But I thought it'd be nice for a change just to do a little bit. And a little bit of red maybe. Okay, so you can see there it's got little hints of colour. I've not done anything three-dimensional with it. But just a little bit sweet, isn't it? So I'm just going to go back in and, you know, I've done a couple of zingers there. And as much as I don't want symmetry, I do want a little bit of balance. So let's add one in there, look. And one in there. Maybe bring it round. This one's for you, Julie. There you go. Okay. So, oh, thank you, Bernadette. If you'll do that, yeah, I'll go and check it in a little bit. So absolutely, sorry about that if I've missed it. It's okay. You can come in and you can add more of these leaves if you want to. You could add a few more of these flowers in there. You could, you know, continue this all around if you wanted to. I think I'm just going to bring a bit of pencil on the inside in there, just so you can get the idea that that is going behind. So I'm going to avoid where I've coloured in with the red. You see, just sort of on that side there. And then of course bringing the torchon back in. There we are, just sort of soften it out a touch. There we go. Well, you know, if you want to add more colour, if you want to add a touch of green for the leaves or the stems, that'd be quite nice. But I'm keeping it quite subdued today, I think, just to match the weather. But it's all good. And just back in with my pen. I'm going to come in a bit in a second. Oh, a bit more, there we go. And also I'm going to do, I'm just going to come around the outside shape. You see there? I'm just going to bring that back in. There we go. All right, into there. So, you see, just enhancing that little bit, just around that side there. And for now, see the difference that makes? That's crazy, isn't it? So let's just do a little bit down this bottom here. Just sort of, I'm not going to do all of it, just little bits. There we go. Alright, see how that just sort of brings that forward, doesn't it? And you can now, you see that sort of yellowy orange in the middle there. So it's entirely what you want to make of it. So last thing to do is give it a little bit of a signature. And there you go. So this one, have a bit of fun with it, whether you want to keep it slightly monochrome, whether you want to go full colour, whether you want to watercolour it. Entirely up to you, but it's certainly worth having a look at, isn't it? They're like all lovely little daisies, aren't they? All swinging in the breeze. So, okay, have a go and let me know how you get on. Post me some pictures and that'd be great. So, have a wonderful weekend and see what you're doing. Be safe and stay, stay warm because it's not getting any warmer, is it now? So you stay warm and have a bit of fun with this one and I will speak to you again on Wednesday. All right, you take care, everybody. Bye.